Not to say that you are nothing. If man understands his station, if man understands the station of the man in front of him, he's going to start worshipping him. If man is able to see the crown of honor that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has put on our heads, you're going to start worshipping each other. You're going to start bowing down to each other. Which, like this or like that, is happening, no? Yes or no? Yes or no? Yes. So what is that? Yes, that we are nothing. What is nothing? To know ourselves here, it is to know our ego, to know our ego, to know the shaitan, to know our desires, to know this dunya. What that means now to know all of that. So that you don't become slaves to them, they become slaves to you. You control them. Does the dunya have power? Of course it does. Does shaitan have power? Of course it does. Is your desire powerful? Of course it does. It has. Your ego, it has a power that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has not granted to any creature. What is that power? To disobey Allah continuously, to deny Allah continuously, to declare himself Allah continuously, that not even shaitan does. Is all this power? Yes. First, now you know all those enemies, and learning how to ride them, learning how to use them. Once you learn how to use them, where are you going to go? Then you're going to understand maybe a little bit more of your spirit. We're not in this tariqat to know about our spirit. First, spirit is already there. We're here to remove the veils that is veiling the spirit. To remove it. So that we can return to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is always expanding, yes. But Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has created mankind to be completely different from any other creation that He has made. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala didn't create the angels to know Him, or the animals to know Him, or the jinns to know Him, or everything else in creation to know Him. The rest, Allah is saying, kun fayakun. Be and it is. Follow my orders. Mankind, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala took time to shape him. Everything else that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has created that we know we don't know. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has made everything in creation to bow down to Adam alayhi salam, to mankind, to us. Are we understanding that? We don't understand that. What is it that they are bowing down to? It is from the breath of Allah that He has put there. But that one that is there, he is made to be the Khalifa of Allah, not only to represent Him, but to know Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, because you cannot represent if you don't know. That you don't know Allah's will. This is the other point also. It's not to know this light, it's not to know this mystery, it's not to know this maqam and this. No, it's not that. You talk like that, everyone talks like that. It doesn't reach nowhere. It's all a game too. To know that you have a will, and you're using this will against your ego and shaitan, the desires and this world, to use your will now. To use that will that Allah has given, that He has not given anything in creation. To use that will now the way that Allah wants. To give that will back to Him, and then Allah gives it back to you. How are you going to know Allah? Yeah, like that poet saying, you will never know Allah if you're sitting down. No, the poet is saying, even if you run to chase Him, you will never know Him. But how are you going to know Him unless you run to chase Him? What is knowing now? What is knowing Allah? Mankind in their limited understanding, knowing Allah means I want to know the essence. I want to know everything. What kind of foolishness is that? What kind of a foolishness is that? You love someone, you can never know that someone. Correct or no? You fall in love with someone, can you say you know that one? 100% everything? You cannot. You cannot even breathe the same way that person is breathing, but yet you claim that we are together, we are one. You can't. When you sleep, two separate beings. When you die, you're two separate beings. Everything is separate. So if you cannot know, you cannot be, you cannot enter into that ocean, how are you going to think that you're going to know Allah completely? You cannot. But Allah has given us that power, the will, that He has not given anything in creation. With that will, we can know Him. Without that will, it is impossible. Without using that will, it is impossible. Without sacrificing that will, it is impossible. Without submitting our will, it is impossible. Then, if you don't do that, doesn't matter if you call yourself Muslim or non-Muslim, Sufi, Christian, Jew, doesn't matter. If you don't submit that will, you are still worshipping an idol. An idol. What you think is Allah. You understand that? So, how are we learning? Are we sitting down, trying to think, coming up with nice words, nice philosophy? I'm looking around, so many people, they have so many nice things to say, mashallah. You look at them, you start melting, so many nice things. You say, oh, it is the mystery, it is a divine thing, it is a lover, beloved, labada. So many. They are very proud ones. Why are you not concentrating on the Prophet? Oh, that's low level. They say, because we're looking at the Prophet not as something historical, they're saying. Then you look down on people who is looking at the Prophet as someone historical. How you know we're not looking at the Prophet as something that is beyond history? Of course he is. He's beyond time, he's beyond space. But did he come to us as a being that is beyond time and beyond space? Did he? No, he came to us as a man, flesh and blood. So you're not even following that one and you're starting to think like that. So people, they get lost, they get blinded, and they get so caught up in their own words, nice Sufi words, and nice Sufi philosophy, and they're flying. But they're not flying. They're drunk. Be humble. We are going to reach there, putting our mind away, putting our will away, to take the will, to enter into the will of that one that Allah has loved, is loving and will continue to love, and those ones who are representing Him. Finish. Finish. That is always the sticking point now. I have to follow this one now. Before I used to have big ideas. Now I have to follow this one. This one cannot carry me. I have to follow this one. No, this one is a man just like me. I have to follow this one. This one has so many defects. On and on and on. The first one to say that is Shaitan. Shaitan saying, before I'm seeing so many things, now I have to follow this one. He's made from mud. But he is witnessing that he has something in there that he doesn't have. And if he had submitted to Adam alayhi salam, he would have reached to his maqam. Same thing, people are not following. They're saying, well, you don't have secret. Still stuck with the secret. What are we trying to do? What are we here to discover secrets? Should have all his life. What is he saying? We're here to discover secrets. We are here to become Abdullah. We're here to become servants. But to some, it's like, it's too boring. I want to become Sufi. Welcome to those who come, farewell to those who leave. You're not the first one in history. You're not the first one in this. It's always happening. Go. You must. Because you're not humble enough to know that I'm here to be a servant. Servant. One big size wali, one time. he had a person who was helping him. We may say in today's words like he is a servant. This was a very beloved one to Allah. His maqam is so high. One day he's asking his servant, saying, what is your name? He says, whatever you call me. That's my name. So he said, what do you eat? Whatever you feed me, I will eat. That saint's heart starts shaking. Then the saint asks him, what do you want? He says, what does a servant have with want? He fainted. That saint fainted. He woke up crying and he says, Ya Rabbi, forgive me. This one has more faith than me. This one, he has more faith than me. It is the most difficult thing to do. But it's not that difficult to. Once you give in, once you submit, it becomes very easy. The Prophet has shown us the easy way. Allah showing us the easy way. We're only making it difficult because the ego is standing there. The ego, worse than shaitan, ego says, no, not only I'm not going to bow down to him, I am a Lord. He is nothing. You understand? The ego want to bow down to another man. The ego doesn't even want to bow down to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So discovering this, once you discover the power of your ego, once you discover the weakness, once you discover, yes, how small you are, what do you then discover also? What do you also know? What do you also find out? How huge Allah is. Because even that word, Allahu Akbar, there is no real translation in English. They say most great, but most is showing a limit also. Most. Beyond that cannot be, correct? In English they're saying most. But when the meaning of that, Allahu Akbar, means that His greatness is limitless, continuing. You can never understand that completely. You can never. But Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying, come close to me. We are going on a journey. You understand? Then you're going to discover me. If you get yourselves ready, you're going to discover me some here. You're just going to be signs that you see here. But when you pass through that door and when you enter to your grave and you enter into the Akhirat, you're not going to see signs anymore. You will see the reality. But that reality now, it is going to be endless. That time, the reality that you see, it is going to be just like a sign of another greatness that you know it is going to be there. You understand? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying, yeah. Holy Prophet ﷺ saying, sit. If Rahman has 100 parts, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has just taken that one part of Rahman, and with that one part, He has divided it so that everything in creation has mercy and has love. With that one part, He has created the paradises, one part out of 100 parts. With that one part, He's saying even the wild animals, the mothers, they give mercy to the small children. It says Allah is saving that 99 parts for you to witness His greatness on the judgment day. It says Rahim, it says Even I don't know what that Rahim is. It is unknown to me. Then to know the greatness of Allah. Are we understanding the greatness of Allah in a single breath? Are we just to meditate on that single breath? How great Allah is with His breath. How merciful He is with His breath. With one drop of water, with one leaf, with one rose, you understand, and you think and you give praise to your Lord. Now, with that, universes can open to you. Because that is only a sign of something that is real, but it is only a sign. But you are reaching out to that reality. You are not limiting your Lord. And you're not saying, your Lord, I cannot reach you. In fact, everywhere you turn, there is Allah. Allah is not so far that you cannot reach. He is everywhere. You are in. The mercy and the signs and the sifats of Allah. Man, he has been created to know this, to understand this, to start opening and discovering and discovering and discovering and discovering. And that discovery, it is endless. How you think the Muslims, they didn't lose their faith in the first few hundred years after the Prophet passed, when new knowledge starts to come in. Every other religion, after the Prophet passed, they become worse and worse and worse. New things come in and they don't know what to do with it. And after a while they say, we cannot reconcile it, we have to drop it. Or we put in everything in there and then it becomes, as a faith, it becomes unrecognizable. How do you think the Muslims, that they're taking over very ancient civilizations with thousands of years of knowledge, and they're taking that and it made them to come closer to Allah? How do you think they're able to do that? Because Allah is saying now, discover me. I am everywhere. Discover me. So now when they look at mathematics, they're discovering the greatness of Allah from that side. When they look at architecture, they're discovering Allah from that side. When they look at medicine, they discover Allah from that side. Now they see, subhanallah, everything is showing you, Ya Rabbi. You are not hidden. Everything is showing you. It is me, it is I who am hiding myself and refuse to see that. So, everything that the dunya is showing, everywhere you turn, there is the face of Allah. That is if you believe, if you're holding on to that. That's why it is so easy for the Muslims to excel in matters of this world, because they say this is not opposite to Allah. The world is a servant of Allah. Allah means to show His signs from this world because He has created this world. It is there. So they entering into so many knowledges, so-called worldly knowledge. It is not to discover worldly knowledge per se, especially in the beginning part. It is to discover Allah, how Allah is showing in this knowledge. So many great discoveries also that people are so amazed. You think, how you think those great discoveries can be found out? If the one who's discovering doesn't have faith. The one who's discovering it is not looking at it the way that the Creator is looking at it. That the Creator is giving some means to look at it the way that He's looking at it, and he discovered this world now, it is not like this. You're looking, it's not. There are secrets behind it. There are mysteries. There are openings. There are worlds behind this. Allah is saying in the Quran Al-Karim, we just quoted in the khutbah, saying what? Look to the skies. Look. Look again and look again. And once you start looking, do you feel great looking? It's saying your sight gets dimmer. You discover now how small you are. What makes you great? Because your Lord is looking at you. What makes you great? Because your Lord is raising you. What makes you great? Because your Lord is giving honor to you. Shaykh Effendi is saying, you ever sit to understand how much space you're occupying? Oh, finger-tall man, that you're being so proud to yourself that every day the earth is calling out 40 times a day, you belong to me. I'm going to take you, I'm going to grind you. Who is meditating on this, thinking about this? How much space are we holding on in this land, in this state, in this country, in this continent, in this world? And this world, this planet, how much space is it holding in the solar system? This solar system, how much space is it holding in these galaxies? These galaxies, infinite galaxies, how much space is it holding in the universe? And how much space is the universe compared to the mountain of Kaf? And what is the mountain of Kaf compared to the Arsh? And what is the Arsh compared to the divine presence? Allahu Akbar. Man thinking. So from every way that you want, if you're looking for the Creator, you will find Him. A spot. That's what Shaykh Effendi Shemullah is saying. A spot. We are a spot. Yet Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is giving us an honor that He has never given anything in creation that honor. How much more now you're going to thank your Lord? Simple. Just say Shukur Ya Rabbi. Thank you. And how much more now you're going to watch out for your enemies inside that is stopping you from making this shukr, that is making you to become this arrogant creature, that is giving you this anger, this stubbornness and all of that. How much more? Because it's stopping you from making a shukr. You forget how to make shukr. People only know how to complain now. I want it. I don't get it. Crying. Men's and women's, grown up and babies. Very spoiled, very idiot. You want to cry? I'm going to make you to cry. You cannot be patient. You cannot wait. Not understanding it is Allah who is controlling everything is not the best time. So wait. You're going to be a baby, I'll treat you like one. Oh, I lose all hope. Oh, I cannot get it. Oh, you're still not waking up. You're still not growing up. You're still not being an adult. You're still not waking up to become a human being, to become an adult, to have responsibility. You're still being an idiot. You're not changing. You're not putting some control. Where is your faith then? Understand? Where is our faith then? Stop. Believers are doing this. Murids are doing this. I can't help myself. Bruh. You can't help yourself? Then that time when you burn, don't complain. Say, I can't help myself. I enter into the fire. Because that kind of behavior, that kind of ingratitude, that kind of stubbornness, only the fire can fix. You like it? You think you cannot? You think you're suffering? Everything is there. You just have to sit and wait. Everything is there, especially for us. Look at our Jamaat. We have nothing. But can anyone say that we are suffering, that we are in need of something and is not given to us? What a spoiled, especially these Americans, spoiled brats. Yeah. Stop all of that. This is for me first. Anyone who wants to listen. So now, the greatness of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. How we're reducing Allah to an idol. The greatness of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. How we're reducing Allah now. We are dismissing Allah and we're putting our desire. Our desire becomes an idol now. The dirtiness of this world becomes an idol now. What a huge, huge mistake. You don't believe in hereafter? You're going to die. You don't believe in hereafter? Then do what you want. Everyone is going to be responsible by himself. But whether you believe or you don't believe, it doesn't change the reality. Man is not believing in what is going to happen later because he never sit to think where I was before. Before I came here, where I was. I didn't even exist and I came. You came to existence because you will yourself to existence. You say, I want to exist, and you become. Huh? Like one foolish man I'm hearing, he is suing his parents in India because he said, I never wanted to be born. I'm suing them because I didn't want to be born, and they make me, and I'm born. Foolishness. Indian. Yeah, isn't it part of your belief you're going to be born over and over again? Astaghfirullah. This is the foolishness. Everywhere now. Muslim, Christians, Jews, Hindus, Buddhists, believer and unbeliever, because they left their traditions. Are we understanding where we came from, what we were? Ayat is saying, we came from a dirty water. That is our physical being. The most beautiful, the greatest in creation, mankind, Hazrat Insan. That they're carrying that secret from Allah. It is made to come to this world through a dirty water, through a dirty way. Allah wants us say it quiet a little bit. Allah wants us to understand that this being, our physical being, and this world, and our desires, it is not honorable in the sight of Allah. It doesn't give a man honor. What gives a man honor is to understand where is it that we came from, and that one who sent us here, what he wants us to do, and how he wants us to return to him. So that you don't forget. Man is forgetful. Man is forgetful. At the time of Adam alayhi salam, he had children here. One generation. He's from paradise, he had children here, and he's giving them sohbat every night. They're making a zikr every night, telling the children to, reminding the children, saying to the children, there is an Allah. Follow this way. Live your life clean. Do this, do that. Some they follow and they listen. Some they didn't listen. When their father is saying, there is an Allah, they say, what Allah? We can't see him. He doesn't exist. What exists is our five senses, what we can taste, feel, hear, everything. And when Adam alayhi salam is saying, your mother and I, we are not from here, we are from paradise. You are born here, this is what you know, but we're born from paradise, and I have you with me. So you have that memory of that, and you will come to that. That is our destination. This is just a stopover. They say, Father, you grow old and you become senile. There is no such thing as that. This is what it is. From that time, from the very beginning now. What is going to happen to the people of the Akhir Zaman? Worse. Allah, He didn't give up. He kept sending and sending and sending, reaching out. we are discovering Allah. Allah is the one who's pulling us. So, inshallah, Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Astaghfirullah al-Azim wa atubu ilayh. What else can we say? Astaghfirullah. That Hazrati Rabi'atul Adawiyya is saying. Every astaghfirullah you say, you have to say another astaghfirullah on top of that, because you're saying it with ghaflat. If our astaghfirullah is requiring another astaghfirullah, what about our shahadat, our prayers, our worship, our fasting, our everything? But that astaghfirullah is to what? To understand. Forgive me, Ya Rabbi. I'm weak and I'm dirty. You are great. Grant me that. To become clean. Allah is not going to grant? Of course Allah is going to grant. The more He grants, more we're going to say astaghfirullah, because we say you're granting and yet we're still like this, yet we're still like that. More you say astaghfirullah, more He's going to grant. More you're putting yourself down, more He's going to raise you, because more you put yourself down, you are raising Allah. May Allah forgive us, inshallah. Wa min Allahu tawfiq. This much is enough. Al-Fatiha.